let's talk about chromosome abnormalities. So we've got 23 pairs of chromosomes, and we need to have that, what we call balanced chromosome arrangement in the fetus and in us as humans. If we have an extra or missing chromosome, it's called aneuploidy, and most of these are going to be totally incompatible with life. We can also have a missing or extra fragment, and they're so incompatible that the fetus, if it has unbalanced chromosomes, will normally miscarry. We know that in 35% of miscarriages, this is caused by an abnormality, an unbalance of the chromosomes in the fetus. Oh. Now let's talk about the chromosomes. So we have 23 pairs of chromosomes, and we need to have this balanced chromosome arrangement in the fetus, otherwise it will normally not survive. So it could be just a fragment of chromosomes that are extra or missing, or we could have a whole chromosome extra or missing. Most of these abnormalities, these unbalanced chromosomes, are going to be totally incompatible with life. So what will happen is the fetus will miscarry. And we know that in 35% of miscarriages, there's a chromosome abnormality of the fetus. There are a few chromosome abnormalities that are compatible with life. The most obvious one is Down syndrome, and there's an extra copy of chromosome 21. But there can also be abnormalities of the sex chromosomes, such as in Klinefelter's syndrome or Turner's syndrome. Now, unfortunately, as a woman ages, the chromosomes in her eggs become very unbalanced. And this really kicks in around the age of 35, and it's called age-related aneuploidy. And it really becomes significant over 40, and especially over 42. So this leads to an increase in miscarriage because of unbalanced chromosomes during pregnancy, but it also causes a decrease in fertility rate. There are several stages when we can do genetic testing, and I'm going to go through these in the next vlog. These are tests that we can do before a couple decide to have children. We call it preconception testing. We can also do pre-implantation genetic diagnosis, which is what I've worked on for the last over 20 years, and I'll talk to you about that. We can do prenatal diagnosis, which is on the pregnancy, when the woman's pregnant, or we can do postnatal diagnosis, which is after delivery. Now, most of these genetic tests would be asked for and organised by your doctor, but now there is something called direct-to-consumer genetic testing, and I'm going to talk about this in the next vlogs. The trouble with direct-to-consumer genetic testing, you can even now buy them on the internet, or even now in some shops, some chemists. The trouble with this is that you don't have the information about what is being tested for and what would be the issues if the test was shown to be positive. And in my view, we need to ensure that we've got sufficient genetic counselling before we do any type of genetic test. The last thing I wanted to say, that there's also something called genetic screening. So in some populations, they have a very high prevalence of a particular disease. For example, beta thalassemia is prevalent in certain communities, such as in Cyprus, Sardinia, and other communities. So in these communities, they would offer a preconception genetic screening test for anybody that's in one of these communities to see if they're carrying this genetic disease, so then the couple can make an informed choice of their reproductive options before they start to have a child. So I hope you've enjoyed this vlog, and if you'd like to know anything more, then please watch the future vlogs, and I hope you enjoy them. Thank you.